The statement that loneliness can be as dangerous to our health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day is not an exaggeration. It's a medical finding based on decades of research into how our bodies respond to the world around us. For many of us, as we get older, our social circles can naturally shrink. This isn't a personal failing, it's a common part of life's journey. But understanding the profound, physical impact of that shift is one of the most powerful things we can do for our long-term health. In this video, we are going to move beyond the simple idea that it's nice to have friends. We will explore the hard science of what social isolation actually does to your body, to your inflammation levels, your blood pressure, your immune system, and even your brain. And most importantly, we'll discuss practical, manageable steps you can take to protect yourself. This isn't about feeling guilty or overwhelmed. It's about empowering you with knowledge so you can make social connection a non-negotiable part of your health plan, just like eating well or taking a daily walk. Stay with me, because this information can truly change how you approach your well-being. Hello, I'm Dr. Daniel Bennett, and I specialize in breaking down health science into clear, practical guidance for those of us over 60. This channel is a community for people who believe in taking an active, informed role in their health. If that sounds like you, I invite you to subscribe and join the conversation in the comments. We all learn from each other here, and your presence makes our community stronger. Let's begin with one of the most fundamental ways loneliness impacts our physical health: inflammation. We often think of inflammation as something you can see, like a swollen ankle. But there's a different kind, a chronic, low-grade inflammation that can simmer inside the body for years without obvious symptoms. Think of it like leaving a burner on your stove at the lowest possible setting. It doesn't set off the smoke alarm, but over time, that constant heat can slowly damage the pot. So, how does a feeling, loneliness, create this physical heat? It starts with our ancient survival wiring. Our bodies are designed to see being alone as a threat. For our ancestors, being isolated from the tribe was incredibly dangerous. Your brain, even today, interprets chronic loneliness as a state of constant, low-level alert. This activates a system called the HPA axis, which is essentially your body's command center for stress. It releases a steady trickle of the stress hormone, cortisol. In short bursts, cortisol is helpful. It gives you energy to handle a challenge. But when it's elevated day after day, it disrupts the immune system. It starts signaling for the release of tiny inflammatory proteins called cytokines. These cytokines are the heat in our stove analogy. They travel through your bloodstream and can contribute to the damage that underlies many age-related conditions, from stiff joints and arthritis to more serious concerns like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. You might feel this as persistent aches, fatigue that doesn't go away with rest, or a general feeling of being unwell. The solution, thankfully, doesn't require a radical life overhaul. The science is clear that even small, consistent doses of positive social interaction can begin to turn down that simmer. The goal is to send your brain the signal that you are safe and connected, which allows the stress system to stand down. Consider making a goal to have one brief, meaningful interaction each day. This doesn't have to be a long lunch with a dear friend. It can be a 10-minute phone call with a family member where you truly listen and share. It can be a friendly chat with the cashier at the grocery store, asking how their day is going and making eye contact. It could be joining a local walking group that meets for just 30 minutes twice a week. The consistency is more important than the duration. These small social snacks interrupt the loneliness signal. They provide moments of co-regulation where your nervous system attunes to the calmness of another person, reassuring your ancient brain that you are not alone and in danger. As a safety note, it's important to be patient with yourself. If you've been isolated for a while, it can feel daunting. Start small, with low-pressure interactions, and build from there. The goal is connection, not performance. Over weeks and months, you may notice a subtle shift, perhaps a little less morning stiffness, or a bit more energy in the afternoons. You are, in a very real sense, cooling down your body's internal inflammation. This brings us directly to the impact of loneliness on our heart and circulatory system. Many of us diligently track our blood pressure, but we rarely consider how our social health is influencing those numbers. The connection is direct and powerful. The same stress response that drives inflammation also has a profound effect on your blood vessels. When your body is in that state of low-level alert, it activates the sympathetic nervous system, better known as the fight-or-flight system. A key function of this system is to prepare you for action by tightening your blood vessels. This raises your blood pressure, so more blood can be pumped to your muscles. This is useful if you need to run from a predator, but it's incredibly damaging when it becomes your body's default state. Imagine a garden hose. If you squeeze the hose, the water pressure builds up and the water sprays out with more force. Loneliness acts like a constant, gentle squeeze on your arteries. Your heart has to work harder to push blood through these narrowed vessels, day in and day out. Over time, this sustained high pressure can damage the delicate lining of the arteries, making them stiffer and more prone to plaque buildup. This is why long-term studies have consistently shown that socially isolated individuals have a significantly higher risk of developing high blood pressure and other cardiovascular diseases. The feeling associated with this might be subtle. It's not usually a dramatic chest pain, but more of a background tension, perhaps a feeling of being on edge, or even experiencing heart palpitations from time to time. The antidote to this is activating the rest and digest system, the parasympathetic nervous system. And one of the most effective ways to do that is through safe, social connection. When we are with people we trust, our bodies naturally relax. Our heart rate slows, our breathing deepens, and those constricted blood vessels begin to open up again. An actionable step is to incorporate shared activities into your routine. This could be as simple as having a meal with a neighbor once a week. The act of sharing food is a deeply ingrained social ritual that signals safety. Another powerful tool is synchronized activity. Joining a Tai Chi class, a community choir, or even just going for a walk with a friend where you fall into a similar rhythm can have a deeply regulating effect on the nervous system. For those of you who monitor your blood pressure at home, this is an area where you can see real data. A good goal for most adults over 60, as guided by a clinician, is a reading consistently below 130 to 80 mmHg. Try taking your blood pressure at a calm moment, and then again after a pleasant 20-minute phone call with a loved one. You may be surprised to see a small but meaningful drop in the numbers. This demonstrates, in real time, how connection can physically relax your cardiovascular system. Of course, social connection is not a replacement for prescribed blood pressure medication or a heart-healthy diet. It is a vital and often overlooked component of a comprehensive cardiovascular plan. Always discuss your blood pressure readings and your health plan with your doctor. Now is a good time to address a common myth. Many people believe that to be healthy, you need to be a social butterfly with a huge circle of friends. The research simply doesn't support this. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Studies show that having just one or two close, reliable confidants, people you feel you can truly count on, provides the vast majority of the health benefits. The key is feeling understood and supported, not filling your calendar. So, if you're more of an introvert, take heart. Nurturing one or two deep connections is a powerful health strategy. From the heart, let's move up to the brain. We know that activities like crossword puzzles and learning a new language are good for our cognitive health. But social engagement may be the most important brain exercise of all because it's so complex. Our brain's ability to withstand age-related changes is often described by the concept of cognitive reserve. Think of it like a financial savings account for your brain. The more you build up this reserve throughout your life, the more your brain can handle challenges, like the formation of amyloid plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease, without showing signs of decline. Social interaction is a premier way to build this reserve. When you have a conversation, your brain is performing an incredible workout. You have to listen carefully, process language, access your own memories for relevant stories, read facial expressions and body language, and formulate a coherent response. It's a dynamic, multifaceted exercise that activates many different regions of the brain at once, strengthening the connections between them. In contrast, chronic loneliness is linked to a more rapid cognitive decline. It's a state of understimulation for the social processing parts of your brain. Some compelling imaging studies have even shown that older adults who report high levels of loneliness tend to have a smaller hippocampus, a key brain region for memory formation. When you feel disconnected, you may also experience lower motivation, which can lead to a more passive lifestyle, further reducing the mental stimulation your brain needs to stay sharp. This might manifest as finding it harder to recall names, or feeling that your thinking is a bit foggier than it used to be. If this information is helpful to you, a simple tap on the subscribe button ensures you won't miss our future videos on proactive, science-backed health. To actively build your cognitive reserve through social connection, prioritize activities that require active engagement. Passively watching television with someone is nice, but it doesn't provide the same mental workout as playing a game of cards, bridge, or chess. These activities require strategy, memory, and turn-taking. Joining a book club is another excellent option. It requires you to read and analyze a text, and then articulate your thoughts and listen to others' perspectives. Taking a class at a local community college or senior center, whether it's pottery, history, or a new language, combines learning with social interaction. Volunteering or mentoring can be especially powerful, as it not only engages you socially, but also provides a deep sense of purpose, which is another factor strongly linked to brain health. It's crucial to remember that these are protective strategies, not guarantees or cures for conditions like dementia. If you or a loved one are experiencing memory changes that interfere with daily life, like forgetting how to perform familiar tasks or getting lost in familiar places, it is very important to speak with a healthcare provider. But for maintaining cognitive vitality, making your social life an active, engaging part of your week is one of the best investments you can make. Finally, let's discuss how loneliness impacts two pillars of our daily health: our immune system and our sleep. The two are deeply intertwined, and social connection plays a key role in supporting both. As we've discussed, chronic loneliness puts your body into a long-term stress state. This has a direct effect on your immune cells. Think of your immune system as an army. You need different kinds of soldiers to fight different kinds of threats. Chronic stress appears to suppress the function of specific soldiers called T cells, which are crucial for fighting off viruses. This is why some studies suggest that lonely individuals may have a weaker response to vaccines and may be more susceptible to catching colds and other respiratory infections. Your body is so busy being on high alert for perceived social threats that it has fewer resources left to fight off actual microbial invaders. This state of alert also wreaks havoc on your sleep. To fall asleep and stay asleep, your brain needs to feel safe. If your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight mode, it's very difficult to transition into deep, restorative sleep. People experiencing loneliness often report having trouble falling asleep or waking up frequently throughout the night. This is called fragmented sleep. Even if you get 8 hours in bed, the quality of that sleep is poor. This creates a vicious cycle. Poor sleep further weakens the immune system, raises inflammation, and can even worsen feelings of anxiety and depression, which in turn can make it harder to reach out and connect socially. You might feel this as a constant state of being run down, catching every bug that goes around, and waking up feeling just as tired as when you went to bed. Breaking this cycle involves creating routines that promote both connection and calm. One powerful strategy is to establish a social wind-down routine in the evening. Instead of watching stressful news right before bed, consider having a quiet, 15-minute phone call with a friend or family member. The calming sound of a familiar voice can signal safety to your nervous system, making it easier to fall asleep. Getting social time and sunlight in the morning is also incredibly effective. Joining an early morning walking group accomplishes 3 things at once. You get physical exercise, you get exposure to natural light, which helps set your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm, and you get positive social interaction. All 3 are proven to improve sleep quality. Even the presence of a pet can provide significant benefits. The simple act of petting a dog or cat has been shown to lower cortisol and blood pressure, and their companionship provides a powerful, non-judgmental form of connection that can reduce feelings of loneliness and enhance feelings of safety at night. As always, if you are struggling with persistent insomnia or poor sleep, it's essential to talk to your doctor. There can be other medical causes, like sleep apnea, that need to be addressed. But integrating gentle, consistent social connection into your daily rhythm is a foundational piece of the puzzle for better sleep and a stronger immune defense. The science is clear. Our need for connection is not a weakness. It is a biological imperative written into our DNA. Treating your social health with the same seriousness you give to your diet, your exercise, or your medications is one of the most significant steps you can take toward a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life. This journey isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about finding small, sustainable ways to nurture the connections you have and perhaps open the door to new ones. Every small step, a phone call, a shared cup of tea, a wave to a neighbor, is a deposit into your health account. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. You are building something vital, one conversation at a time. I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, please share one small way you enjoy connecting with others. It could be a walking group, a weekly call with a grandchild, or playing cards with friends. Your ideas will surely inspire others in this community. If you found this guidance clear and helpful, please give this video a like and consider subscribing. Sharing it with a friend could make a real difference in their life. Thank you for investing this time in your well-being. I look forward to seeing you in our next video.